Trevor Story and the Red Sox eyeing the sweep of the Cardinals tonight.
Trevor Story, good to see him healthy, doing his thing. These are two really good teams. Red Sox are, they're competing at the top of that AL East with some new guys.
A couple of the best franchises in the history of baseball. To Fenway Park we go, and Carl Ravitch.
Kevin, thank you very much, and welcome to Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. It's presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? Yeah, there is a different vibe at Fenway Park this season. The Red Sox and Cardinals rained out yesterday, so this is game 2 of a split doubleheader. And the fans showed up. 31,000 paid attendance earlier, and now they are filing back in for our Sunday night showdown between St. Louis and Boston. Game 1, the Red Sox and Wally were bummed out early on. Cardinals were putting it to them. It was a close game. And then Rafi Devers gave Boston a lead in the 5th inning, his first home run of the year. And after starting the season on a massive offer, he got to wear the head. Red Sox tied it in 4 in the 9th. They ended up winning it in the 10th with the MVP early this season, Wilyer Abreu, banging one off the wall. And the Red Sox were feeling great about themselves today. They have felt very good since their start, having won 4 games in a row. Welcome inside our booth. This, of course, is David Cohn. Eduardo Perez is here as well, and Buster Olney is down on the field that you see right there, and he will join us shortly. There are a lot of very positive things that have gone on as far as Red Sox Nation is concerned. They've got good young players. They've signed up a bunch of guys like Crochet and Campbell. How important was the Bregman deal to get them here to make them feel really good?
Yeah, it just sets up everything because you've got a middle of the order hitter, and you've also improved your defense at third base. He's obviously a two-way player, Gold Glove caliber with the glove. Batting third for the Red Sox, he's exactly what they needed. His lifetime numbers here at Fenway, too, just jump out off the page at you. And then when you look at the kids, too, there's more on the way. We'll get into that during the games. Some of the prospects in the minor leagues that are knocking on the door. But certainly Christian Campbell is a very exciting player, play all over the field. Anytime you can have a guy that play in the middle of the infield and center field, that's a special talent. Kudos to the Red Sox for developing him that way. And, of course, you mentioned Abreu as well. Maybe the hottest hitter in the league right now.
All right, and a guy that was instrumental in bringing some of those players here, Chaim Bloom, is going to be running the Cardinals. He's working for them now. Next year he takes over. The Red Sox have a really good farm system. St. Louis has a lot of good young players on the field right now.
They do, and they're going to lean on them because during the offseason, they did not go out and get any free agent offense. They did get Phil Maton. That was the only move that they did make. But right now, what the Cardinals have done is lean on these kids and give them an opportunity. Put them at the big stage. See what they can do. We know what Mason Wynn did last year. Victor Scott's getting a second opportunity this year with a hot spring. And Jordan Walker is going to be the key guy, right? Nolan Gorman and Walker, both of them are making better contact. Gorman's on the IL right now. Herrera got hurt in game 1. So we'll see Walker, and we'll be able to talk to him to see how the adjustments have been made so far and how it will moving forward.
Their offensive approach, to Eddie's point, has led to that. Most 10-plus hit games to start the season. They did it again in the first game. They are sitting there, having done that in every game so far, threatening that great 1999 Cleveland Indian team. We got a veteran on the mound for St. Louis, Miles Michaelis.
Using my hands.
Come on, Andy.
I'm out the game. Try Relax Fit Skechers Slip-ins.
When you'd rather enjoy the pool than clean someone else's.
Sweetie, get out of the pool.
It matters where you stay. Conrad Hotels and Resorts. Hilton for the stay.
You never want to lose your edge. And the Lexus RX completely understands that.
This is not a blue moon. Now it is. Now it's not. Now it is. Now it's not. Now it is. Now it's not. Now it is. A Valencia orange makes a blue moon, and everything a little brighter.
Plenty of history between Boston and St. Louis as we bring you back to Sunday Night Baseball at ESPN. It's presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? And in part by Kubota, your compact equipment provider. On the hardwood, on the ice, and on the green grass. 4 World Series, the Cardinals and Red Sox have split them. Just about set for first pitch for Fenway Park. Time now for the field report. It's brought to you by Scott's. Feed your lawn, feed it. One of the early season stars is Christian Campbell. He will be playing second base for the Red Sox, and they have a couple of other guys, his best friends, Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer, who are still down on the farm, while Campbell shines here at Fenway. That's what he looks like. This is what he sounded like. I spoke to him before the game. Christian, so if you think about this journey you've been on, you tell me where you would start to get to this day. Is it like 3 weeks ago? Is it when you were 5 years old? Because where you are now seems somewhat unrealistic given expectations 3 weeks ago, but you tell me.
Right. I mean, I've been working my whole life for this moment, I feel like, but it was quick. After the draft, you know, everything kind of happened fast, but they've made the process super easy for me and slowed everything down.
Is that the secret, slowing everything down? And super easy is not usually a word a Major League Baseball player will throw out when it comes to going from where you were to the majors.
Right. Yeah, it's not easy. No, it's not easy at all. But no, the process of just meeting a lot of new people at once, switching teams fast, high A, double A, triple A, not a major league team, they made that process super easy for me, and my teammates made it easy for me also.
Your boys, Marcelo and Roman, like what are some of the things that they kind of bend your ear about?
They asked me just how it is in the locker room and how it's like playing in front of a lot of people. That's, I think, a big difference between the minor leagues and major leagues, just the amount of people you play in front of and just the energy that it is in Boston. And I told them what it's like, and they're super excited for it. They can't wait.
How do you describe the energy? I mean, you just came off a win here, come from behind in extra innings. How do you describe the energy?
It's crazy. It's crazy amount of energy. It wasn't even a full stadium earlier, but it was loud. It was super loud. Everybody was into the game. And we came out on top, which was important. But everybody was super supportive. Even when I was on deck, people were yelling behind me, like, come on, get him. Let's hit the ball. Like, you got it.
Never had that before like that.
No. And it feels like they're on the field with me. So it's very important. And it's a really good fan base for sure.
He said several mentors in his life, including when he was younger than 10 years old, meeting D. Gordon in a Chattanooga, Tennessee Walmart. Those two have become friends and continue to be very close even today. Starting lineup looks like this. Lars Nootbaar leads things off for the Cardinals, who started this season by sweeping the Twins.
Yeah, and they're going to need Wilson Contreras to start swinging the bat like he did in spring training. Has really struggled even going into today's game. Nolan Arenado, though, is really hot, and he'll be in the 4th spot.
Challenge for the Cardinals is going to deal with a guy who they haven't seen before. No one has at this level. Hunter Dobbins called up after the rain out yesterday. He makes his debut tonight. We'll all get a chance to learn along with the Cardinals hitters. This is what he's going to bring. You can sort of share some of the experiences, thoughts he's going through right now.
No, absolutely. I mean, you get the call and you know you're going to get the start, and there's not a lot of time to worry because you got to get here, you got to get ready, and it's the second game of a doubleheader. It's an 8th round pick out of Texas Tech.
Yep.
Alex Cora said he's throwing the ball harder than he was advertised, that he's picked up velocity like so many pitchers around the league that are training and chasing velocity. He's another one.
1-1, and that one is going to go foul. It's picked up by the catcher.
What was it last year? 93. When he got to spring training, 97.
They got a chance. His parents, you can see them there, Deborah and Lance. They were there for his first start at AA, and of course, when they got the call, they made it here to watch this major league debut. And what a moment for them. And he's going to get a bouncer to second. That's Campbell, who fires to first, and what a way to start your career. First man you face, Lars Nootbaar, he grounds out to second.
Talk about Campbell. Campbell's played today in center field, game 1, and then he's at second base, game 2. We saw the same thing last year from Rafaela, who played a lot of shortstop. He'll be in center. He's in center field right now.
Well, you saw he threw that baseball in, did Dobbins. He wants that to be kept, souvenir. And now Wilson Contreras, that he fouls one down the right field line. A promising power arm, as Eduardo said, at Texas Tech. He blew out his elbow, had Tommy John surgery prior to his junior year. And Boston felt enough comfort with him and his history. They bet on him, and a terrific work ethic as well, as he sends one outside. Drafted him in the 8th round at 21. A decent debut at Low A Salem. And this one is towards the gap, going over, and Rafaela will not be able to get it. Bounces on one hop off the wall to second. The guy that Eduardo said is going to have to be clutch, and Contreras delivers a double.
Hey, Brett.
Catches it out in front. You see the exit velo. Hits a little bit off the end of the bat with this little cut slider, but he's strong enough to be able to hit it in the right spot in the gap and get 2.
Let's go out and hook that pitch. He's trying to get to the outside corner. Contreras cut him off before he could get there.
Scoring position for Brendan Donovan. And the Cardinals early this season, Eddie, is it a different approach? Because they've been a hitting machine.
Yeah, it's Brent Brown. It's been a major difference for the St. Louis Cardinals. It's their hitting coach this year, and he is a stickler for discipline of being able to stay with one approach.
Way out in front of that one, a good curveball, and took something off, 78 miles an hour. And this has been the approach, Eddie, you're talking about. With 2 strikes, they do have a different mindset, it feels.
They do. And one thing that, for example, with Donovan, he likes to spread out, especially with 2 strikes. For all those Cardinal fans, it reminds you a little bit of the Jimmy Edmonds type stance, where he would spread out, not really take a stride at all. Just from there, put it up, put it down. Got a bigger barrel, too. Not what we've been talking about the entire time.
Not the torpedo bat. That's a fair ball, third baseline, rounding and coming in. Contreras, he will score to second, and safe there, back-to-back doubles. Brendan Donovan puts the Cardinals up 1-0.
It's what you call trading places. Heck of a way to start out a game for the Cardinals.
How about that, right? We talk about 2-strike approach. Again, Donovan just trying to put the bat on the baseball and does a great job of it. You see Trevor Story right there, right? This is part of playing at Fenway. As a shortstop, you have to crash on anything hit down the line because it can ricochet and come right back at you.
Here's Nolan Arenado, off to a very good start. When Boston acquired Bregman, there was that conversation about Arenado. Arenado has had great success at Fenway Park, similar to Alex Bregman. 1-0 early, Cardinals. And Arenado fouls that straight back on a slider.
Yeah, Carlos, to the point that I think that if Alex Bregman doesn't sign with the Red Sox, I think that the Cardinals and Red Sox would have worked out something for Arenado.
333 with a homer and 6 RBIs to start the season for Arenado. Good pitch, does not get the called strike.
It's a great pitch. Andy Fletcher behind the plate did not give it to him, but that's the difference right there between a 1-2 count now and a 2-1 count for a hitter like Nolan Arenado.
Now behind 3-1.
Is that a Hall of Famer batting call, you think, there? And a rookie pitcher call, maybe? That's the old line from the dugout would be called the game, not the name.
Yep.
But he's earned it. Arenado is probably a future Hall of Famer.
3-1. Donovan with an RBI off second and a 96-mile-an-hour fastball. Pitch that he probably will be known for as a splinker, similar to what Paul Skeens throws. He just throws it a little differently. But he and Kyle Teal, who of course was traded away this offseason, discovered it, and it was Teal who said, we need to throw that in a game. We'll keep our eye on it. It runs about 89 to 92. Back to a fastball, and Arenado spoiled it.
96 miles an hour on the top end right there.
Yeah.
That's pretty quick.
Donovan's dad was a professional baseball player. He's also been a lifelong Red Sox fan, so the idea that Hunter is with the organization makes it extra special. Another fastball.
Both pitches out of the zone away, yet Nolan standing a little bit further in the box than he has in the past.
He's got the Texas flag on his glove, huh? Texas pitchers have done well here at Fenway.
They sure have.
Speaking.
Yes, they have. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming to Arenado. Will not chase. That's a walk. Clemens, Schiraldi, yeah, there's a whole bunch of Texas guys that have made their way through Boston. Got comfortable here.
You could just see the worry on managers' faces after the second game of a doubleheader, when you know your bullpen's thin. You had an extra inning game in the first game. Trying to figure it out.
Alec Burleson bats now, and they have it picked off between second and third. Story's throw. Bregman applies the tag. And Donovan ran himself into an out by getting caught off second.
Tell you what, if you're Alex Cora right now, you have to love what your pitcher just did right there. First game in the big leagues, and he has the wherewithal to slow everything down and throw the strike over to Trevor Story.
That's a great point, Eduardo. I mean, that's the time you take advantage of a young pitcher. I'm not sure if that came from the dugout. It looked like a play.
Yes, yes.
Pretty good stab by Story, too. And then Bregman at third applied the tag. Out in front of 2 of those now. Oh, 0-2. Dobbins trying to get out of it with just 1. Another pitch, and that time he is able to foul it off. Eddie, take a look at this pickoff.
Yeah, how about the pickoff right here? Look at Narvaez behind the plate right here. Watch his mitt. Where it is, as soon as he puts it down, throw, perfect time play. Leaning on his catcher right there for the pickoff play when he...
double-digit figure again, which they've done in every one of their games. And this is the lineup Miles Michaelis will face. Duran Devers hit a home run in game 1, his first of the season. Bregman bats third. If you haven't seen Wilyer Abreu, he has been the MVP of the league behind Aaron Judge to start the season, has carried Boston.
He really has, and his defense is elite, goes along with the bat.
And you see Miles Michaelis on the mound tonight. He's an innings eater. He's a strike thrower, and the Cardinals desperately need him to eat up some innings in tonight's game.
First pitch and a swing at the first pitch. Yeah, it's appropriate. The first name is Miles. He is a marathon guy. I mean, he has appeared in and started as many games as anybody. In fact, since June of 2022, 101st start tonight, most in the majors. Call that posting, right? He posts.
He posts, and he's had a chance to be like a 200 inning guy too at times. Kind of rare in today's game, a starting pitcher throwing 200 innings.
Keep an eye on how often he falls behind in the count. So we take a look at his innings and his strikeout rate. He's the pitch to contact guy. He got 4 swings and misses total in his last start against the Angels. And no swing there from Duran.
You know, there is such a thing as throwing too many strikes, right? I mean, it sounds kind of funny, but when you think about it, yes, you need to miss the strike zone at times too and expand it.
The Cardinals defense behind Michaelis Arenado is shaded to where the shortstop would traditionally play, and Mason Wynn, with all his speed and terrific arm, is shaded up the middle. Donovan is at second. Burleson is at first. Nootbaar is in left. Victor Scott is in center. Jordan Walker, who will wear the microphone for us in inning number 3, is out there in right. Paez behind the plate. That's one bounce off. Catcher Herrera hurt his knee in game 1. He was walking pretty well in between games, but it was a weird injury. He was on third base, and after a foul pop out, he had to be helped off the field.
Yeah, what we heard between games was that he just felt his knee give out. And of course, it was a scary scene. He was helped off the field by teammates, and you wondered if they were going to be without him for a while. But between games, I think there's some more optimism that maybe they dodged a bullet there, Carl.
That has got to be scary on the 8th pitch of this at bat. Swing and a miss. He got him up top with a slider.
The old high slider. It's out of the hand. It's almost got like off-center four-seam grip, cutter spin almost in between, like a hybrid Durant Reed's fastball.
Here comes Rafael Devers. And he looks at strike 1. Of course, much chronicled rough start for Rafael Devers. And things have turned around. You see the 0 for 19 with the 15 strikeouts, and since then 6 for 15, including a homer in game 1. That one misses.
Home sweet home.
Yeah, there's that. There's also been, there's a couple, like Mason Wynn was 0 for 18, I think, to start, or 0 for 20. Contreras was 0 for 22. And then Devers. And that one is smoked to left. That one's going to hit the wall hard, and he's going to be challenged to get to second. That's a put the brakes on. He would have been out by 50 feet. A rocket off the bat of Rafael Devers, and a really good sign for the Red Sox to see him starting to find his groove.
Yeah, really good sign. I talked to him before game 1, and one of the things was bringing the hands down a little bit from the set position. Going the other way is key for him. That's where he hit the home run in game 1. This time a missile off the wall for a base hit.
Now Alex Bregman. He swings at the first one. And out of play.
And lost in all of that was Nootbaar in left field being able to throw that ball back in.
Well, the monster, it can giveth and taketh away, and this is the taketh away part, a sure double, and turns into a single. This happens more than you would believe. Playing here at Fenway for the year I did, I got saved a lot. with balls that would have been a double or even home runs elsewhere. They're singles here.
Bregman back up the middle and through into center field. And it's now first and second. Devers will try to go to third as Scott attempted to pick it up and dropped it. Devers took advantage of it and took the extra 90. It's first and third.
Get dirty, big man. Get dirty. Right there, people loving in that dugout, the hustle of Rafael Devers, who had pulled up at second base. And Scott has to know who's running on the bases and everything. As soon as he gets close to the ball, he should already know and anticipate that Rafael Devers isn't a guy that's going to take that extra base.
So a single and then an error allows him to move up, and the dangerous Wilyer Abreu. Strike number one. He is 12 for 23 to start the season. 3 homers, a couple of doubles. He also has 8 walks, and he was the hero in game 1, having not started but coming off the bench. And he delivers again. A single into right field. Plates Devers. 3 consecutive hits from Boston, and Abreu, you cannot get him out. It's tied at 1.
That's a beautiful piece of hitting. In game 1, he ended it with a shot off the wall, and it was a fastball. This time it's a changeup, and Miles just leaves it a little bit over. And give credit to Wilyer, recognizes it and uses his legs to be able to go and get it, and right over the leaping Donovan at second. Watch him go down and get that.
Digs that out and gets elevated.
Next up, Trevor Story is the Boston hit parade. Started with Devers after the strikeout of Duran, a single, Bregman single, and Abreu. What a tear he's been on to start the season. And this was coming. Alex Cora has been touting Wilyer Abreu for a number of years. His OPS in these first 9 games is about 1,700. Story, slow roller. Michaelis has 1 play, underhand flip to first for out number 2. If you have Abreu on your bingo card for leading baseball or the American League in so many of the offensive categories?
I'm not sure, but you are correct. I mean, Alex Cora just has one of those eyes for talent, and he knew right away with Abreu. And even if last year he was touting him for the All-Star game. And he has just continued to grow and come into his own, and he's a confident young player right now.
Speaking of confident and certainly young, Christian Campbell now up. Another rookie who has burst onto the scene for Boston. Part of that bursting was signing a long-term contract for $60 million, but could be worth upwards of $96 million. Right. He is wiry, he is athletic. They talk all the time about how quick his hands are.
You know, I know this is an easy comparison, but he looks like a young Mookie Betts to me in the box.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll give you a hybrid, because he gained 17 pounds all during the offseason from last year. Little Mookie Betts, Adrian Beltre, when he was here for that 1 year. Just that look.
Two-one count to Campbell. And a one-hopper to the second baseman with some spin on it. Donovan is there. Campbell's retired. But we got a couple of runs. One for the Cardinals, one for the Red Sox. An RBI for Abreu. We head to the second inning from Fenway on Sunday night. Ended up like in full neutral, so that didn't work. This offseason, the Cardinals went the opposite way. Basically full nothing. Boston fully invested again, trading their future for the present. So say hello to Garrett Crochet, and here's $170 million to stick around. Alex Bregman hop on board, and wait, was that Devers who actually jumped overboard? Did they actually torpedo this whole thing? Well, time has proven no, they didn't torpedo it. Devers has found his groove, and Boston is a much improved baseball team. And for many, Bregman and this team is a sort of chic pick to go deep into the playoffs in October.
Well, he knows how to do that.
The American League East is a beast once again this year.
Here we go.
Especially with the Red Sox and all those moves you just mentioned, right in the middle of it.
Dobbins got 5 swings and misses in the first. That's not going to be one. It's a high chopper to Bregman. Good throw, and it gets Jordan Walker. Not an easy play.
I'll tell you this, when you're at third base and you see that chopper and you got to start back-stepping it a couple, you better get that arm ready, especially with Jordan Walker. He's big, but he can move over there. Right there, he knows that he can't take that extra step. He has to let it go in one motion. And throws a strike over to Romy at first.
Now Pedro Pages had a very big game 1. Looks at strike 1 from Dobbins just above the zone. Just to set the defense, Bregman is at third. Trevor Story at short. Christian Campbell at second. Romy Gonzalez at first. That's a foul ball. In left is Jaron Duran. Cedon Rafaela is in center off of a bit of a bumpy offensive start. And of course, Julio Abreu is in right. Carlos Narvaez catches tonight. Connor Wong played in game 1.
Here we go.
So again, Hunter Dobbins, his debut, the 25-year-old out of Texas Tech. He made 25 appearances, all starts for the Portland Sea Dogs. He went 7-3, struck out 98 and 105. He allowed just a couple of home runs in AA and AAA. Opponents hit just 232 against him, and he picks up his second strikeout of the night.
Well, he's got a starter's repertoire, a couple of different kinds of breaking balls. We see a sweeper. But here, we've seen the curveball previously, so you can see that can play off of each other very well. Coming right into your living room. You want to see a sweeper? There it is. Right down the middle, and then it's gone.
Left-handed hitting center fielder Victor Scott. You fall behind 1-0, and then your team ties it up. What does that do for a pitcher, especially a young kid?
Yeah, it's an immediate lift. And you just get the sense too that you don't have to be perfect. Now I don't know if a young pitcher is aware of that or not, but the Red Sox are swinging the bats fairly well. You just got to do your job, and they're going to score runs for you and support you defensively, as we saw Bregman's play.
He said his sweepers are work in progress. He is pounding the strike zone now, and a lot of movement.
See that sinker there? That's probably a little hybrid grip. You know, we could almost call that a splinker, kind of a half sinker. You can see there by the grip. That's more of a splinker grip, almost a hybrid split finger grip, but it throws it hard at 91. So we're calling that a sinker for now, but it's definitely a different sort of a grip with it.
Well, he says that splinker is a similar movement to how his circle change used to be. And another filthy one there, and that may have been that splinker again at 91. Mom and Dad love it. Buster Olney is going to talk to the parents. An 11-pitch inning, settling in on a Sunday night. Hunter Dobbins. And yeah, Dad, who helped develop this guy, very pleased with where we're at right now. Name your players. Baseball your way. Get personalized highlights, push notifications just for you. Download the MLB app today. Miles Michaelis back on the mound. Romy Gonzalez at the plate. 7-8-9 for the Red Sox. Gonzalez, Narvaez, Rafaela. For Miles Michaelis, who's had such a fascinating major league journey. Went over to Japan. That one nearly got Gonzalez. He was in the majors from 2012 to 2014. He and his wife got married while they were on the honeymoon. They decide we're going to go over to Japan and try something there as Gonzalez starts the inning off with a single to right field.
I tried that too, Carl. Didn't last too long. Came right back. He lasted a little bit longer.
Yeah, he did. He was there for a year. Then he signed a 2-year deal as you watch Gonzalez reach out.
You heard the bat crack right there. We call that died a warrior for a base hit.
What's the over and under for torpedo references tonight? What do you think?
I got it.
We're at 2 already.
We are?
Torpedo bats. That's 4.
We brought it up. Well, you're going to keep mentioning the word?
I'll say 8 because you mentioned it already a couple times in a couple sentences here.
A play off the bat of Narvaez. Yeah, Eddie, Miles went over there with his wife, Lauren. Lauren became maybe more popular than Miles did. She served as a UFC ring girl. She was a spokesperson for Face Wash, the Japanese health supplement. And they just said, you know what, we're going to go see what we can do, have fun over there. They did. They had a blast. And it really also created a much better pitcher in Michaelis, both physically and mentally. Ahead 0-2, that ball smoked left field, heading into the corner, and it bounces high enough off the wall. There was no play for Nootbaar. Hustling into second with a double is Narvaez. Second and third, Red Sox.
Yeah, and this is Nootbaar thinking, okay, I can get him at third, but the correct play with no outs, or even if there was 1 out, is throw the ball to second base and keep the force in order, especially with the catcher hitting. Narvaez gets out in front of it. You have a chance to keep him at first, or even be able to get him if he tries to go 2 on this. Instead, throws to third base, and now you have 2 runners in scoring position.
With nobody out for Cedon Rafaela, and he swings at the first one and fouls it off.
Just the sound of the ball hitting the wall. Really a little lower there on the scoreboard part. It's just so unique to Fenway. Not a good sound if you're on the mound.
No, 5 hits in the game for Boston.
Cedon goes up there swinging the bat.
Any chance that Devers' line drive off the wall, which came back so quickly, would somehow influence him to think, well, it's happening again, I can get the guy at third instead of throw to second?
Well, this one had less exit velocity than Devers.
No question.
You have to know the hitter-runner.
It's almost a play you have to anticipate beforehand,
yes,
right, to make the correct decision. If you're waiting to react after the play happens, then you end up throwing to the wrong base.
1-2.
Rafaela just 115 out of the gate. Will not offer. And the challenge again for a guy that doesn't strike a lot of guys. You need chase. And otherwise, there's going to be a lot of foul balls.
This guy's a hard guy to walk too. He'll swing the bat.
Michaelis shakes off 2, and he's ready now on a 2-2.
Here we go.
Good job by Paez to keep it in front of him, and now the count goes full. Jaron Duran in the on-deck circle.
Tell you what, in game 1, Herrera, before he got hurt, and then Paez, both of them doing a great job of blocking behind the plate.
There's those numbers right ahead of Stuffy McInnis.
Yes.
So you're telling me he's not walking this at bat?
I don't think that's a list you want to be on. I don't think. Unless you're raking.
Shano, Sadon, and Stuffy. On the 8th pitch, he sends it into right field. Narvaez is in. Boston's on top, and they are getting to Miles Michaelis early in this game. They lead it 2-1. Then the hit parade continues for the bottom of the order.
They're having a 0-2. He tried to get in the chase, evened up the count, then went 3-2. And this kid right here does not like to take walks. He'll expand the zone and still find bat head to it. It's exactly what he did. Goes down and gets it. This one, a two-seamer.
You know, Michaelis trying to go inside with that two-seamer and kind of yanked it down and away.
And now Jarren Duran with Gonzalez. In and Narvaez at third. And Duran had such a special year last year. The 34 stolen base, guys, it's contagious this year. Boston is running at an incredible clip. 13 stolen bases for Boston. That has not been something the Red Sox have done for a long time. They have 9 different guys, does Alex Cora, who have at least 1 steal. Doesn't get the benefit of the call, just missed off. Boston's got 6 hits in the game, guys, and they have come in succession. First inning, they had 3 consecutive hits from Devers, Bregman, and then Abreu, and in this inning, 3 consecutive hits. Gonzalez, Narvaez, Rafaela. Popped up, playable for Arenado, backing up on the infield. And Duran 0 for 2 to start tonight. Well, again, Rafael Devers, that slow start is absolutely in the rear view, and in this case, the objects actually are further away than they may appear. Game 1, a homer, and then, of course, in this game, a line shot off of the monster for a single. Rafaela falls under that category of speedy.
Wait, Eduardo, you could see it up here. I mean, he is just clearly trying to go the other way, trying to get inside the ball. You can see his practice swing right there. He's trying to hit it through the monster.
He really is. And the conversation we had earlier was, I don't hit a lot of balls off the end of the bat. I hit a lot of balls from label to barrel. So he tries to always stay inside of it, and he's finding his groove. He's got a lot more life now than he did when they first arrived here in Fenway from their road trip in Baltimore.
And great numbers you can see against Michaelis. Rafaela, 19 steals on the season last year. He's got a decent sized lead, not going. And Devers doesn't offer. You spoke to him. How did you find him? Is he in a decent mood after the start, feeling better?
I think he is. I really do believe he is. And I think him driving the ball the other way is really giving him a lot of confidence. But those pitches right there, right down the middle, that's what frustrates him. He's like, why am I missing him? One of the reasons he really didn't have a lot of at-bats in spring training. So he's playing catch-up. Everybody can say, well, he's DHing. I just think his timing is not there. Hands are a lot higher right now than what they usually are and what they've usually been in the past years.
That must be a conscious decision. I mean, he could see that. The hitting coaches could see that.
But it's feel. Remember, because he had issues with the shoulders, did not hit a lot in the offseason.
I meant the hands being in a different position.
He usually has them face high.
There it goes, and it is ball 4 on Devers.
But that's the one thing that has really helped Rafael Devers is being able to get the walk. Even though this pitch right here,
Michaelis can't believe it.
he can't believe it at all.
And that would have been a strike about throw him out.
Right on the corner.
There's been a few of those tonight for Miles Michaelis.
That's big.
Sit well with that guy.
See Oliver Marmol in the dugout, you know. He went from 2 quick outs to bases loaded.
Yeah, innings over there, strikeout, throw him out, and instead the bases are loaded for Bregman with Abreu on deck.
And a guy that loves hitting this ballpark.
Has a couple of thoughts he shares as he moves behind home plate for the home plate umpire. Andy Fletcher. Another spot for Bregman.
Hello.
So you got Ted Williams and then Alex Bregman as far as on base. Slugging at Fenway, Kingman, Bregman. And of course the great Frank Robinson OPS. This is why Boston was very interested in bringing Alex Bregman here to Boston. Swing and a drive, left field. High off the wall for Bregman. 2 runners will come in. He'll go to second. And Alex Bregman delivers at Fenway again. A double scores Narvaez and Rafaela, and Boston's got a 4-1 lead.
Boston better get used to this combo of Devers and then Bregman, as in both innings, first and second, they've already created damage. You have the walk, and then right here, Alex Bregman playing pepper off that wall.
He's always been one of the very best at getting the ball in the air to the pull side. And some of that was playing in Houston, and that's why Fenway Park is such a good match for him.
3 runs in, Abreu. So how big does the ball 4 and the throw him out feel now? Abreu's eyes lit up. This is a guy who recorded the walk-off hit that scored Bregman in game 1 of the doubleheader, and he subsequently came right back in the nightcap with a single. OPS, he's ahead of Judge, he's ahead of Jose Ramirez, and it's not currently close to start the season. And he ropes another one. This one in the gap. It gets down, goes to the wall. Wilyer Abreu is on an absolute heater. A double and 2 more for Boston, 6-1.
He's doing everything right? Change up the other, he gets to pull it in the first at bat. This time goes the other way. He's got Smith going from left to right, right to left, and continues to drive runs in.
We heard Alex Cora talk about the hitting style that he loves among great hitters. You pull the off-speed stuff and you hit the fastballs the other way. It's exactly, to your point, Eduardo, what he's done the first 2 times up.
And last year he struggled with the fastball, something he did not the year before when he first got called up. And when you see him also going the other way, watch out.
Here's Trevor Story. That's in there for a strike, a curveball that finds the zone.
Keep going back to that 3-2 call.
Yeah.
Devers.
Michaelis, because of that as well, not only the runs, but his pitch count, he's thrown 31 this inning. And Boston already has 8 hits in the game with 1 out in the second and 6 runs. So Abreu's got a single and a double. Story on the ground hard to the second baseman, and Donovan is there to throw him out. Well, Duran has accounted for 2 of the outs tonight. Story has accounted for 2 of the other outs, and this guy, Christian Campbell. So 3 different hitters are responsible for the 5 outs that Michaelis has gotten tonight.
You know, I give the Boston Red Sox player development department a lot of credit because this kid can play all over the field. And that's by design. I mean, you get kids in the minor leagues that you think are really top prospects, and you teach them how to play multiple positions, including infield, outfield.
Yes.
That combination is deadly, and that's why this kid's in the big leagues right now.
Yep.
Well, think about last year, and I said it earlier, with Ceddanne Rafaela. Same thing. He played center field, played shortstop, was called upon because Story got hurt.
Here's Craig Breslow.
I mean, a lot of organizations are playing catch up right now, trying to get their prospects to be a little more versatile.
Yeah. Breslow, of course, pitched here, and now he is running the organization. And also an emphasis on defense. That's why Bregman's at third base. Campbell got jammed on that pitch.
Had conversations with, you know, personnel from the Red Sox, and the one thing that they want to try to do is, at least if it's with their prospects, give them consecutive games in the same position. That way you can get the repetition, then move on to another position. Or let's say 3 more games. Not try to switch after every game, because you might not have the same opportunities defensively in one game than you have in another.
Well, winning at home has been a priority for the Red Sox. It's one of the goals this season. They haven't had a winning home record in a couple of years, including last year. On the 40th pitch of the inning, Rafaela doesn't offer. They were 38 and 43 last year. 62nd pitch of the night, and Rafaela will pop it up. Playing fairly deep in center. I shouldn't say Rafaela. Campbell, and he is out. It's weird, huh? Duran, Campbell, and Abreu. They've made all 6 outs in 2 innings. 3 guys. This may have been the key call of the night. It was ball 4. Michaelis didn't think so. The base runner would have been thrown out and would have ended the inning. Instead, it kept the inning going, which allowed Bregman and Abreu to do damage. Sox have a 6-1 lead. Ooh, look out. Hunter Dobbins just let one go at his major league debut. He moves to the 3rd inning with a 5-run cushion.
Roger Clemens style,
Just
right
like
there.
another Texas guy. Except this one went to Tech.
Mason Wynn followed by Nootbaar and Contreras. Two balls and a strike. He was in the College World Series, Eddie, as a reliever a couple of years ago, was Dobbins for the Red Raiders. This win will send that one to the seats down the right field line.
There we go.
Oh, there we go. Yep.
College baseball programs have proven to be such a great ground for these players that they get to the big leagues and already, Cody, especially out of the conference like that he played in. It's kind of like college basketball now in that you play 1 year in college, or 2 or 3, but you're in the big leagues quickly and making an impact. They believe they belong. I think it's a critical part of all of it.
It's a great point, Carl, and that's probably the biggest change I've seen since I was back, in high school. And I don't even want to date myself, but yeah, we're talking about the 80s and 90s. The lower minor league levels were better if you're a young pitcher to go to the minor leagues. Now it's just the opposite. The college programs are so advanced.
Rocket by Wynn, center fielder is right there. Rafaela hitting hard off the bat, but there's one down.
In fact, we see a lot of organizations go right to the colleges to hire those coaches, those pitching coaches.
And you see some major league coaches go to the colleges because they pay very well. And many of them have great success. Back to the top of the order here, Lars Nootbaar.
Outside.
Cardinals, to your guys' point, kind of neutral in the offseason, didn't make the big move. They have a handful of very good young players. And will any of them be signed kind of like what Boston did with Rafaela and what they just recently did with Campbell? Give them that 6, 7, 8 year deal so you know you have foundation pieces. They haven't done that very much with their players.
They haven't, but I think this is where John Mozeliak is going to just try to keep the books clear for Chaim Bloom, who's going to take over next year, and then
Nootbaar, and no chance for Trevor Story. That's back-to-back hard hit balls. One results in a hit.
If you look at it, a lot of the young players that are now with the Red Sox and coming up the system were Chaim Bloom's guys.
Yep.
And guys that were traded to Chicago to the White Sox were Chaim Bloom guys. He built a very good player development here to get ready for the Boston Red Sox, for this city. I believe he'll do the same in St. Louis.
Top of the head, I mean, he just gets hammered for the bet steal, Mookie Betts. And again, that seemed to come from above him. He didn't seem to have a choice in that. Contreras got jammed, and he's strong enough to get that past the dive of the first baseman. Gonzalez to third base. Abreu, big throw in time. Wow! What an arm and what a throw by Wilyer Abreu.
Elite.
Didn't think there was a chance.
Elite. That's why he's the Gold Glover out there, and that's why the numbers when it comes to defense play in his favor. Base hit a slow shot to right field. You're thinking if you're Nootbaar, no chance that any right fielder's going to get you. Yet the arm of Abreu, precise and a rocket right to third.
It's a ridiculous throw on the money, and it had to be.
There was a great tag on a steal Javi Baez made, and right away social media lit up with his ability to catch and tag at the same time. Bregman didn't move his glove.
He didn't have to.
That throw was so perfect. It led the glove into the body of Nootbaar. There's another one that's ripped.
He's staying at second.
Yep, not moving.
Just don't run. Just put a sticker that says don't run on that left shoulder. Add one to the elbow too, because this is special. Goes down, he's like, oh really, you're gonna try that? Lars Nootbaar went back to the dugout and probably saying, are you kidding me?
Well, look where he is. I mean, he's what, 25 feet from third base when the throw leaves? I think Bregman's look is like, wow, that just happened here? Meantime, the Cardinals have strung together 3 consecutive hits. They got runners now at first and second. And let's see if another Fenway killer Arenado can deliver here and make this game more competitive.
Best left-handed arm I've seen from the outfield was Rick Ankiel. When he moved to as an outfielder, left, stopped pitching.
Arenado, slow roller, fielded cleanly. But boy, you give a lot of credit to Wilyer Abreu offensively. We're seeing it defensively here. We'll talk to a fellow right fielder. We'll get Jordan Walker on the microphone as we continue on a Sunday night with the Red Sox up big. Saw that great throw from Wilyer Abreu. We were talking about Chaim Bloom and some of the acquisitions he's made. Abreu came over in that oddly timed Christian Vasquez deal. We were doing Sunday Night Baseball in Houston. Vasquez and the Red Sox were there. They traded him, and of course Abreu came back to Boston. Good news is we got a great one on the microphone tonight. Jordan Walker out there in right field. Jordan, thanks very much for doing this. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, man, this is sick. Yeah, absolutely.
Good to have you here.
Yeah, for sure.
Gonzalez swinging a minute. What was he ooh for? You think that was coming to you?
Yeah, man. Every time he swings it, man, it looks like it's coming to me. I'm just trying to be ready. Hey, Vic. Yeah.
He did it in game 1. He went to right field.
That's what I'm saying,
He
yeah.
did it in game 2. You're right.
Well, I'm learning now about these guys that they can hit it all over the place. Come on, Danny. All right, baby. Yeah, man, these guys, they're driving all parts of the field, man. You never take one off.
How have you adjusted to right field after playing third base your entire life?
Yeah, man, it's definitely tough, man. When I moved out here, I've never been this far away from the plate, so it's definitely taking some time to get used to it. But man, day by day, year by year, I feel like I'm just getting a little bit better, man. So that's all I can really go for. And then, man, my goal is to win a Gold Glove at some point. Oh, back! Oh, you knew! How's your Vic? Hi, babe.
So Jordan,
but yeah, man, it's a lot of fun out here, man. I won't lie.
One of the things that happen often when a player wears a microphone, the inning usually lasts about 45 seconds.
Yeah.
How are you dealing with the doubleheader, obviously this early in the season?
Yeah, man. I mean, honestly, if we were gonna have doubleheader, I'd rather have it early in the season. Legs are the freshest, body's feeling the freshest, man. But I think at no part during the season is it easy, man. These 9 inning games, a long time, take a lot of energy. So, yeah, me and the boys just grinding through it, man, but we're having a good time, man. Can't hate playing in the big leagues, for sure. All right, boy.
Rafaela looks at the strike. All right, Joe, we got a fan question for you, so we asked the fans at home. Who has the most aura on the Cardinals?
Who has the most aura on the Cardinals?
Yeah.
Oh. Man, I might have to go with Willie, man. When he's going, man, he's intense, man. I feel like, you know, I'm a little upset that I know what that is. But, yeah, I think it's definitely Willie. For sure, you're going to see a lot of that this season.
Have you ever, well, I know you don't have a lot of experience in right field, but if you look to your left immediately, you got the foul pole right there. How crazy is that?
Oh, hearing the fans yell, man, yeah, you definitely got to get used to it. I mean, as I said, I've never been this far away, and also I've never been like this kind of alone, this much area around me just by myself, man. So I definitely get a lot of attention, good and bad. Mostly as we've been in Boston, man, it's pretty much been bad, man. They've been letting me have it.
They do that to everybody.
Yep.
2-2 and a little blooper that is not able to be brought in by Donovan. And a single for Cedon Rafaela, his second of the night.
Yeah, you almost overran that one.
I know, man. They're finding every little hole, thing like that, man. I gotta give it to them, man. They can swing it.
And that's a long run, man. That's a long run.
Absolutely, yeah, I know. And I was just letting you know, I love this stadium, man. Super sick out here, but man, there's a lot of ground to cover in right field.
A lot of grass.
Absolutely.
Get ready. Here's Duran.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. He can drive me one right here, too.
Well, there's 2 outs just in case because you're talking to us. Just make sure.
Vic.
Let Vic know.
Yeah, all right.
So what did you just tell him right there?
Yeah, so, man, Vic likes to go get that ball, man. So I'm saying, in that gap, I'm playing more shallow. And like on line drive, I'm coming to get it. Like I'm coming in to get it. I'm coming across to get it. Now if he drives one in that gap, he's the one chasing it down. Just so we have a little communication beforehand so we don't run into each other. And so we know what we both are doing, so we know where we are and we can back each other up.
Yeah, plus you've been running a lot this inning. He hasn't moved.
Man, I need my exercise, man. I don't mind.
Okay, so even with 2 outs and a runner at first, you're still playing normal depth. You're not taking a few steps back.
Man, it really depends on the hitter. So Duran, he can really drive it in this gap, and so actually I don't know if I should say it, to be honest. Expose all the secrets and everything like that, man. But yeah, I'm learning to read the swings and everything, kind of play where I anticipate where the ball is going to be hit. That's something that JJ's been trying to teach us to do. And yeah, man, I mean, working with him has been really good about it, man. We're one of the best defensive outfielders, so definitely lucky to learn under him for sure. That's pretty much it, man. I mean, we get an overview of, you know, what these guys can do before the game and everything like that. But, you know, he's really into trying to read the swings, and that's pretty much what I'm doing. And then Vic's really good at, you know, helping me move me where he's at, where I'm at, because he can cover a lot of ground. So I just want to be able to cover the ground that he can't cover. So it's really just a team, pretty much a team thing. Yeah, man.
So with JJ, that's John Jay,
yeah.
What's the biggest impact that he's had on you?
Pretty much teach me.
Runner goes, and that's dropped.
Teach me pretty much every aspect of the game. Kind of a lot of the defense stuff, but you know, on the bases, stuff with hitting. So, I mean, he just brings all kind of wisdom and joy to the game, man. And you know, he's chill, hangs out with us, jokes around with us, man. So, everything positive from him. I want to keep working at him for sure, man. He gives out a lot of good things, a lot of good knowledge. Almost.
What did they tell you about the outfield? Why did they think you're going to be better suited there? Or was that more about the team that you're on and the players they have?
You know what, man? I'm not completely sure, but my guess, and I think that's what it was. I mean, one of the greatest players to ever do it is over there at third base.
Yes, he is.
And that's why, you know, I'm happy wherever. To be honest, I just want to play. Come on, Nutty.
The stolen base, the 14th of the year by Rafaela, got him in a scoring position. They are tied with the Rangers for most steals this season, and that allowed Duran and his first hit to bring in the run. And you're right, tonight, Jordan, the ball's finding grass and avoiding gloves.
Sorry, I missed what you said there.
I just said, you're right. Tonight, everything the Red Sox are hitting are finding
grass.
Grass.
Yeah, that's one thing about this team that, man, I knew coming into this series, man, they fight pretty much every at-bat. They never give up on that at-bat, man. And they're going to find a way to put that ball in play and find some grass, so we really just need to be ready for it. So, I mean, just kudos to them, man. They're swinging it well.
Yeah, Jordan, 22 years old, you're in the big leagues. You're #1 pick. You know, back in 2020. Any thoughts of going to college back then, or are you happy you're in the big leagues at 22 years old now?
Yeah, man, yeah. Definitely pretty happy with things turned out, man. You know, if I'll do it all over again, I'd probably choose the same path for sure. It's been an unbelievable experience, but I was lucky enough to have friends who go to college, man, and they give me their side of the story and everything like that. So it really is kind of like my peer into kind of both worlds, but definitely. Man, he looks like he's ready to crush one every single swing.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it wasn't that way. It's just a great, valuable lesson for a young player. I mean, he started this season, as you know, in an 0 for slump.
Absolutely.
And he's banged right out of that.
Exactly, man. I mean, I've watched him for a long time. He seems resilient, man, and he's hit pretty much everywhere he's been. So, I mean, yeah. A little too fast for me, man. A little too fast for me.
And he's one of the fastest in the game. That's Jaron Duran to third.
You gave it a shot.
Try to get someone else, man, yeah. As I said, man, just find the holes.
Yeah, we're seeing the replay right now. Nice job keeping the ball down.
All right, Jordan, hang with us. Take a breather. We will come back. Ollie Marmol has taken Michaelis out of the game.
Does he have it?
Us out of the game. Red Sox first and third. They were all over him tonight. 7-1. They already have 11 hits in the game. Gordon Graceffo now pitching for St. Louis. His first pitch high to Bregman. Gordon Walker kind enough to hang with us. Graceffo out of Villanova, drafted in the 5th round in 2021. He's 6'4", 220, 25 years young. You got a little scouting report on Gordon? Jordan, you got a little scouting report on Gordon?
Nothing I want to share right now. I don't give away any secrets, but man, what I will say about him is he's a dog, man. He fights, and no matter what position he's in, man, he's gonna go after him.
Yep.
So he's a definitely pitcher's like good pitcher, good friend, man. Yeah.
Good.
But anything about his pitches, I'm not gonna quite give away.
No, I wasn't looking for state secrets. 1-2, trying to slow this machine down. That is the Red Sox. He bounced one.
Home G.
How hard was it for you yesterday, you being a Duke commit, seeing that loss?
Yeah, man, I mean, honestly, I didn't watch too much of the game, but I did see all like the highlights of it the next day. Unbelievable foul called on him. Hold on. I'll lock in right here. Definitely a tough one.
Oh, back! Bregman, deep center. Touch of all time. A 3-run home run. Alex Bregman. The Red Sox have 10. And they lead it 10-1 here in the 3rd.
And all of this with 2 outs and nobody on. The Red Sox have just put up 4 runs. And Alex Bregman and Rafael Devers again right in the middle of every inning so far in this game.
What a night for Alex Bregman. A single, a double, a homer. And another big swing from Abreu, who also has a single and a double.
Come on, G. I mean, I have the best view, so, you know.
You had it. Like that call on Cooper Flag last night. Not a foul.
Right. Come on, G.
Did you guys have a basketball pool this year, a tournament pool?
Yeah, some of the guys did like a little March Madness bracket and everything like that, but honestly, with the season starting, I don't think we kept up with it too much. Yeah.
Yes, sir, you're right. Jordan, listen, man, we really appreciate you hanging with us, man. Thank you.
Thank you, man. Hey,
you're a good man, good personality. Great to have you with us on Sunday night. But it's been the Boston show all night tonight. Alex Bregman. Well, if you want to make an impression, remind everybody why the Red Sox gave you the money they did, Bregman is succeeding early. 10 runs, 12 hits for the Red Sox. And I'm not sure, Coney, other than it being 10-0, how you could make a rookie pitcher in his debut, just called up from AAA Worcester, feel any better about things.
Yeah, got a little cushion to work with.
Talking about Hunter Dobbins, who got through the first inning after giving up a double and another double. And there was a caught stealing, which was a big break for him. And this one towards the line. It's going to stay in play, and it's a fair ball. Mishandled out there by Duran. At one point, that ball looked like it was going to go to the stands, and as you all know, it keeps coming back into fair territory.
Yeah, that's a tricky one and the tough one. If you don't have a lot of experience in left field and you've come up as a center fielder most of your career, right then, as soon as he takes his eye off, he continues to track the baseball, but you have to know that the baseball is going to come back to you, and you see him squared up more to the wall down the line instead of to the batter, and that's why it appeared as it came back. Optical illusion right there by his positioning.
I've seen so many plays like that here at Fenway Park down that particular line.
Big swing from Jordan Walker on a high sweeper. Fell for Jordan a little bit that inning, man. The ball kept getting hit to him. Tell he was out of breath. We really do appreciate Jordan and all the players willing to wear a microphone for us on a Sunday night.
1-2.
6'6", 250.
Yeah.
It's Jordan Walker. I mean, he's learning how to get into his legs and really tap into that power. The sky's the limit.
Well, StatCast has him in the 100th percentile when it comes to bat speed. That says a lot. That also explains a lot of the swing and miss, because that bat head just gets in and out of the zone so quickly.
Oh, no.
That's a good take. His pitch does move a lot, that sweeper. So Burleson was given a double, no error on Duran. He stands at second base. As they begin to try to climb the mountain, down 10-1. Missed inside. That's a good at bat there from Jordan Walker.
That wasn't an error?
Nope, called it a double, at least temporarily. Best coverage in today's game. Hey, take a look at Dobbins' first career Major League Baseball strikeout through the T-Mobile multi-view, which includes through the eyes of his parents. Buster.
Yeah, I'm here with Lance and Deborah Dobbins. What a day for you guys. Hunter making his Major League debut. How did you hear the news?
Actually, I was at baseball practice, and it was an odd time for him to be calling. And so when I picked up the phone, he goes, "Daddy, do you want me to make your debut?" And I said, "Yes." And he goes, "I'm going to Boston." And it was so surreal. It's still surreal. It's just one of those moments I can't put into words.
What were your emotions when he registered his first out?
This. I have Kleenexes. It's a lot. It's just, you go from T-ball to here, and he never, ever doubted himself. He always said, "I can do it."
I can see the tears in your eyes now. Now, we told the story about how you were a Red Sox fan, and Hunter followed your lead on that, growing up in Texas.
Yeah, he was kind of captured and forced to be a Red Sox fan, and realized how amazing it was. I mean, how can you not be? Did you hear this place a while ago go crazy? How can you not love this place?
We love it. Love it.
So what's it like for you to watch these early innings? You look at the score, 10-1.
It's to a point to where I can see him kind of smelling blood in the water and starting to feel it a little bit. So yeah, but it's beyond words.
You're getting Hunterized. He's really passionate. The city is passionate. It's a good fit, and we're very, very proud. And at the end of the day, I'm just.
Well, congratulations. Thanks so much. Carl, back to you.
Fantastic. That was everything right there, Buster. Thank you very much to see that emotion. And she went right back to T-ball, and now in the major leagues, you can really sit and just understand what it must be like to sit in their seat. Red Sox fans welcoming them to this family. There's another strikeout for their son Dobbins as Pages is gone.
Mom probably giving more high fives on the way up right now after that strikeout.
I don't like the stuff, huh, Coney, with what he's done?
He's obviously a little bit of a work in progress, but the repertoire is there. We mentioned before, curveball, that sweeper, and the splinker on top of it. It's a good mix there. You see the velocity change there on that curveball. It served him well tonight. He's thrown that for strikes, too. He's been able to land that pitch.
The 0-1 to Victor Scott. And this one is going to be playable. And who's going to get it? There's the flip. Did he keep the foot on the bag? Yes, he did. Difficult play. Gonzalez ended up picking it up for a second. I thought Dobbins was going to field it and just step on the bag, but he let it go.
It's a good job by Romy Gonzalez as well, because you're caught in between. Is Dobbins going to make the play, or do you go after it? He bare hands it and is able to give him a clean feed. Tough on the pitcher as well.
Right in the middle of the bag, a little dangerous.
It's a heck of a play by Gonzalez with the bare hand on what has been wet grass. You ever have that feeling, Coney, when you get blood in the water as a pitcher?
Absolutely. But when you have that kind of a cushion and you get first and second and nobody out, and you don't want to let this get away from you.
There's another high chopper, and there's no chance for Bregman on that play to get Wynn. That brings in a run on a ball that traveled roughly 40 feet. RBI for the speedy Mason Wynn.
No surprise, Mason Wynn, who last year was second in all Major League Baseball when it comes to hits with 2 strikes, gets another hit with 2 strikes. Just put the bat in, put the ball in play and just run.
The old Baltimore hop, right? Right off the top of home plate.
Seen a few of them. Here's the guy known as Newt, Lars Nootbaar. Newt was the one that was thrown out on that incredible peg from right field. Wilyer Abreu at third base. Way out ahead of that slow curveball.
He's made a lot of good pitches, and that curveball served him well. I'm impressed with the splinker too. That sort of super sinker he's featured too. He's kept that one down as well.
0-2, lay center field. Rafaela is right there. And that will end it for Dobbins here in the top of the 4th inning. Story Campbell Gonzalez coming up. It's all Red Sox on a Sunday night at Fenway.
league debut. What are you seeing in him?
Good fastball, good command. The back pick kind of like gave him some breathing room, right, and confidence. And since that play, he started pounding the strike zone.
There's so much great in this game, but Wilyer Abreu's throw. What did you see on that play?
Well, I saw the base hit. I'm like, okay, go to second. But he plays with so much conviction. He keeps the throws down. And I don't know how hard it was, but it was one of the best I ever seen.
Alex, thanks. Call back to you.
Trevor Story on the ground to third. Arenado throws out his former Rocky teammate. Trevor Story's been up 3 times. He's been retired 3 times.
And he should know, right? Don't hit it to his former teammate who's won 10 Gold Gloves and is just a machine. Anything hit right at him.
The answer, by the way, to Cora's question, the throw from Abreu was 90.7 miles an hour. And then our buddy Jordan Walker on his throw to third was 90.1 miles an hour. Get it, Jordan.
Think he's still talking out there?
Christian Campbell gets his first hit of the night. Next week, where are we going? Sunday night, we'll be out west. Shohei and the Dodgers host Kyle Tucker and the Cubs. Series finale at Chavez Ravine. 7 Eastern time, ESPN and Deportes. ESPN Radio will start at 6 Eastern with baseball tonight. Sunday night countdown. Dodgers beat by the Phillies 8-7. Yes, the Dodgers have lost a couple of times this season.
They have, to the Phillies.
Phillies have looked very good this season. How about the Giants out west? Arizona out west. The Padres. There's 4 really, really good teams in the National League West.
And hopefully next Sunday, Freddie Freeman will be back in that lineup by that weekend series.
Blake Snell went on the IL, shoulder issue. Romy Gonzalez followed by Narvaez if they get there with 1 down and 1 on.
So in game 1 for the Red Sox, we're honoring the 1975 World Series team.
Yep.
To see those guys, I mean, that was right in my sweet spot. I mean, that's when I fell in love with Louis Tiant. 75 World Series.
Sure.
My dad didn't fall in love with Louis Tiant too much in 75. He was absolutely filthy coming back. And
he liked the ephus from Bill Lee, though, right?
Oh, he loved it.
Over the monster.
Spaceman was part of that celebration. He was rolling around out here, along with the 2 guys that made that team go as like 22-year-olds in Rice and Lynn.
And that's what a lot of people don't recall is Jim Rice was hurt for the World Series, and they did not have him. An excellent team in 1975, but a really great World Series. 7 games.
Here you go, Cody, just to bring you back a little bit.
I mean, I was a 12-year-old kid playing wiffle ball in the backyard, and I was Louis Tiant, trying to throw exactly like that.
They got to show my dad here taking a whiff. Come on now.
Fred Lynn said about Louis Tiant, the late great Louis Tiant, was he's the only pitcher I've ever seen look at me when I was in center field while he was pitching.
And he reinvented himself because of a shoulder injury when he was with the Cleveland Indians, and then went to Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken. And that was just a spring training before the Red Sox were able to really reap the rewards of his greatness.
Yeah, Carlton Fisk, of course, 75 with that home run. Rico Petrocelli, third base. Rick Burleson, the Rooster. Fans in New England fell in love with that team and that guy. The relationship between, because the team was so young. I heard an interview with Lynn and Rice. That team took off when school ended and the bleachers got full of college students, they started to relate to the team, and the team took off after that.
Nolan Arenado off to a good start for you guys. Tell me what you're seeing in him so far this season.
Man, this is a guy that puts in a lot of work, and he's hard on himself, and he had a really good offseason. He knew he needed to get after it. He has something to prove, and he's come back and done a really nice job. Defensively, he's making incredible plays. Offensively, he's in a good spot, so it's been a positive showing for sure.
A scary scene in game one. Ivan Herrera, a great young catcher, helped off the field. What can you tell us about his knee issue?
Yeah, everything came back clean, which is good. It could have been a lot worse, so he'll miss some time, but we're definitely not looking at anything serious. So he'll go on the IL, but it could have been a really bad situation.
All right, thanks. Carl, back to you.
Oh, here we go.
Yeah, fingers crossed, because Herrera got off and has been unbelievable. So knee inflammation was the... Dobbins lost one there, and he drilled Contreras with a fastball.
And the scariest part of a hitter right here is when you hear the watch out. Catcher will yell it, umpire might even say it, but you're going to get hit on the pad. 0-2. At least it was on the pad.
That's why you're wearing the pad, right?
Yeah.
The man has chewed the tape off his bat, so he can deal with a lot of things that others probably can't. He did describe that tape as disgusting. Donovan now up, and this guy Brendan Donovan, he sort of superseded the whole torpedo bat thing with his own bat. Eduardo, we sent him sort of as Inspector Eduardo to find out all about the lumber that Brendan Donovan swings. We discovered he's just ahead of the curve because he's moved the meat of the bat down a little bit. Did that a couple of years ago. And it's led to a barrel and hard hit rate. And there's another rope.
Yeah, so it's really interesting. Even way before all the torpedo madness, there's nothing to do with that. He just wanted to have the most barrel possible in his bat. And one of the things he did is the cup, and we hear about bats that are not cupped or that they are. The cupped bat that he uses is actually a lot deeper. It's 2 inches deeper than any other bat that you see. Like right here, this is the Brendan Donovan model, but there's so much, and you see how deep your fingers, even though they're very short.
That's two knuckles
right,
for me.
Right there. And he has bat head from here all the way to here. That's a lot, and that's what he wanted to do.
A little check swing caught by the second baseman, Campbell, and he dropped it on the transfer to his hand, so out on the lineup.
But I just thought it was really interesting because everybody talks about torpedo. Well, this has almost, if not the same effect or even better. And he was the one that actually went in and designed the bat himself with the model. 33.5 inches long maple. The Brendan Donovan 33, BD 33 from Old Hickory.
Doubles as a shot class? Is that what that is?
Tell you what, what's the score right now? 10-2?
It's deep enough.
So it's
deep enough.
Plenty deep enough. It's not the Stanley Cup, but it's something you can get out of. And there's Arenado sending a shot back up the middle. Let's go back to that interview Eddie did with Brendan Donovan.
This goes back to 2021, where I was like, man, I want to make this thing as dense as possible in this range because this is where I'm making most of my contact. So I made my cup a little deeper and I pushed the density down further on the bat. So the barrel is big. Like I've had guys come up to me and say, hey bro, you're cheating, your barrel's too big. But I was like, nah man, when you make contact around the handle, you need something a little bit more dense in here. So and then flare this knob out a little bit. It gives it a little bit more of a counterbalance because this barrel's so much bigger. But I've been swinging this bat since 2021.
Just a brilliant idea. And there's the comp right there of a regular cupped bat and how deep.
Full can in one, half can in the other. Yes.
But we were talking density, talking the ability of being able to have a balanced weapon in your hand at the plate. That's what Brendan Donovan was able to create.
Sounds a lot like golf clubs, right? Game improvement clubs, moving the weight around, forgiving.
Forgiving, exactly. Miss the face and still do damage.
We hear all about pitch design all the time and everything, and you sure have your clubs or golf clubs are fitted to you. And to add to it, Ivan Herrera had 3 home runs the other day. All 3 home runs came with
the Donovan bat.
The Donovan bat.
Yeah. We got to come up with a name. If it's not torpedo, what should it be? How about that pitch right there, Coney?
Very well done. He's thrown that ball exceptionally well, that particular pitch.
Arm side to get Burleson.
Yeah, guys, something that was missed by all these teams placing mass orders of torpedo bats over the last week.
Personalization?
Yes, that's what was working for Anthony Volpe and some of the Yankees.
It's a thing. So if everybody's wearing a particular pant, you don't just call up and say, just send me the pant. You tend to need to get your size.
It helps. The hitters need something. I mean, we've been talking about pitchers and pitch design and technology for pitchers, and hitters deserve one.
Record low batting averages, record high strikeouts for hitters. That's why it felt like when this whole thing started 8 days ago, it was like hitters seeing this oasis of, oh my God, a magic bat, and everyone running toward it, swimming toward it. And it was a mirage for some of them.
Walker beats it into the ground, fielded cleanly by the athletic Christian Campbell. It stays 10-2. Frustration for JW here on a Sunday night. ESPN is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? High fives, handshakes, hugs all around for that guy right there. As Hunter Dobbins is in line to pick up a victory in his major league debut. There is the line for him. 5 innings. He gave up 8 hits, just a couple of earned runs. He struck out 5. Coney's been checking the numbers, the spin rates. You're impressed by?
Absolutely. Kid's got good stuff. His velocity's up. 4-pitch mix. Threw them all for strikes.
All right, so we start with Rafaela and then Duran and Rafael Devers, according to ESPN Bet live odds. You check it out. Devers home run tonight. Leaning against right now, but ESPN Bet Sportsbook customers get 100 bonus bets after you make your first $10 wager. You download the ESPN Bet app, sign up with the promo code HOMERUN to get started. The Red Sox did not push a run across their last half. They had scored in their previous 5 consecutive innings. They had 2 in the 9th of game 1. They scored 1 to walk it off in the 10th. And then they scored the first 3 innings tonight before hanging a bagel up there in the 4th. Yankees lead the East. They're 6-3. Boston 5-4. The Blue Jays, who come in here for a series next, 5-5. Rays 1 under. Baltimore 4-6. What? And 1 to Cedar Rafaela. Arenado strong to get him.
Want to stay up to date? Just tell Siri, show me today's MLB scores.
Arenado making a Gold Glover play, making it look really easy, right? Took the extra step to get the ball out of the glove.
So good on the run.
Well, you guys talked about outfielders knowing about the speed of the base runner. This guy's quick, and Arenado knew what he had. This is Jarren Duran, just over 200 now for the season. Swings and sends that down the line, similar to the one that he misplayed, but this will go about 7-8 seats deep.
Coney, you were mentioning Nolan Arenado and the question of whether or not, you know, he said he's probably on a Hall of Fame trajectory. I think if he never played another game, he'd get voted in. He's been that great during the course of his career.
Yeah, when you combine the fact his power numbers as a third baseman and his defensive Gold Gloves that have added up to double digits, says a lot. He's in the top 10 of all-time third basemen. You certainly can make that argument.
Weren't you quizzing us the other day, Eddie, on a particular player who had certain numbers?
Crazy numbers, and we couldn't come up with it either. And it ends up being Nolan Arenado the answer. And I'll tell you, 3 times 40+ home runs in his career.
Yep.
The amount of Gold Gloves that he has, just the defense, the offensive prowess, it's just very impressive what he's been able to do.
Had to be very odd. You guys have so much experience. Coney, you've moved around to so many teams. I mean, it just had to be an odd living situation with the uncertainty of where he was going to play and his relationship with the Cardinals, the front office. Beaten into the ground under the glove of Burleson, and taking a turn and heading to second. Walker's throw hits him, and Duran is there on a ground ball underneath the first baseman Burleson. He ends up on second.
This is what Jarren Duran does so great. Did it all of last season. He's done it his entire major league career. He gets out of the box and he's not thinking 1, he's thinking 2. Right as soon as it goes under the glove of Burleson, it's his decision right here to be able to go to 2. He sees Walker, who attacks the ball well. Now you have to make a perfect throw to get me. And he did not.
Duran last year led baseball in doubles and tied for the lead in triples. It was the 8th time that a player led in doubles and triples for a season. It's a list that's got great Lou Brock on it, 68. Stan the Man did it. Cardinal fans, 48 43. Ty Cobb, Honus Wagner, also on the list. Devers sends this one high and deep. Left center field, off the wall. Rafael Devers is back. The Red Sox score their 11th run. Devers has been on 4 times tonight. He has scored 3 times.
Remember the walls behind home plate where they would say just no pepper and all that? Well, there's been a lot of peppering going on, and this one was a changeup that stays up. And Rafael Devers, all evening and day long, he has been thinking left field. I'm not trying to pull anything. Making a living out of it today.
Bregman has a single, a double, and a home run.
You guys remember how David Ortiz would always talk about the wall as like his friend?
You know what he called it, Buster? His security blanket.
Right.
19 extra base hits in 24 games at Fenway Park for Alex Bregman.
Well, the late, great Dan Quisenberry, the reliever for the Royals, described the Green Monster as having a heartbeat. When you're on the mound, you could almost feel the beat of the monster, especially with guys like Devers hitting line drives off of it.
It just doesn't look like a triple off the bat for a cycle, and it's caught by the shortstop. Bregman retired for the first time.
Tell you what, though, I really do like the adjustment that Rafael Devers has been able to do in this ballpark. He gets him right the approach, and he still takes some strong, aggressive swings that he's missed. The pitch before, he was looking up at the sky saying, man, I want that one back. Right here, those hands are coming down earlier, meaning the leg is coming up earlier, and he's on time with everything. A few years back, I went to Toronto and had a conversation with Jose Bautista, and the one thing that Cito Gaston and Mickey Brantley were telling him is you have to start early. And when he thought he was starting early, it wasn't early enough. That's what Rafael Devers has to do, because when he has that leg kick, he steps to where the ball is.
Abreu, he hammered it, and he is retired. Finally, he came in hitting to this plate appearance .538. Retired on a line shot to the second baseman. They do get one. celebrate MLB Mondays with a free handcrafted beverage at any Capital One cafe nationwide. Scan the QR code right there or download your coupon and visit CapitalOne.com/local/events to learn more. Capital One Cafe for a free handcrafted beverage. Put it in the top of Brendan Donovan's bat if you choose to. Walk in with one of those things, say fill it up. On the mound, Brennan Bernardino, the lefty for the Red Sox. We play the top of the 6th inning. A big swing from Pedro Paez, who's likely to get a lot of playing time with the injury to Herrera.
That happened last year too when Contreras went down with an injury in the forearm. And Paez was able to take over and did a nice job behind the plate.
Bregman fair territory. He throws on the run like Arenado, and he gets Paez.
That's knowing who the base runner is. Take your time, get a good grip, and let it fly to first. Automatic for Alex Bregman, who came up as a shortstop in LSU before signing with the Houston Astros.
You know, one of the things that Alex Cora, who is a baseball lifer with his family, obviously, likes to do with his young players, in particular a guy like Christian Campbell, most of the ballparks will have retired numbers. In Fenway Park, they have them in right field up there on the wall there. You see some of those famous numbers, Ted Williams, the Fisk, who we talked about, Pedro and Ortiz, Wade Boggs. So he'll ask the younger players, and he's certainly been pouncing on Campbell, like, do you know who any of those guys are? I asked him about that challenge from his manager before the game. Does your manager grill you about former players, like guys from, 1960 and 70? Is that like a quiz he tries to pose to you daily?
All the guys do that to me. Yeah, they talk about some of the guys they grew up watching, and I have to explain to them. I watched literally like Mike Trout, like guys who are still playing today. So like we were watching 2 different eras. They're talking about like, I don't even know.
Stargell and Clemente and you're like, I'm sorry. What about Mike Trout?
Yeah.
What about Aaron Judge?
Aaron Judge, you got all those great players who, like Christian Yelich, even him, like that's why I watched in middle school and high school and college even, like not too long ago. So it's kind of funny. They always tell me like, how do you not know who this is? Bro, I wasn't born yet. Like I don't know. But I got to catch up on a little bit of it, but it's been fun. They make it fun for me.
But I think the important part there is this almost the recognition when he said, I got to catch up on it. Knowing the history of the game that you're making a living at and playing and going to these ballparks, he'll have such a great appreciation for the guys that came before him and made an impact. And I think for Cora, to his credit, as a father, he recognizes I can teach too, not only just about how to hit and throw, but about the sport.
I think it's important just to understand, you always understand where you came from, but now that you're in this environment, it's great, especially with so much history that this organization has. Learn about this organization and others when you go on the road. Their numbers are there for a reason.
Got some airplane rides. All right, great. Test search. Learn, baby. It's good stuff. 11-2. was a tradition unlike any other, and we will have exclusive first and second round coverage of the 89th edition of the Masters Tournament from Augusta, April 10 and 11, 3 to 7:30 Eastern on ESPN both days. If you love golf, it is one of the great Thursday, Friday events of all time. Once again, ESPN Plus have the featured hole and featured group coverage, all 4 rounds. SportsCenter dedicated coverage the entire week. 0-1, the swing and miss from Trevor Story. A couple of subs in the game. Center field, Michael Ciani. And Thomas Sagasi replaces Arenado at third. He played in game 1, and there is Ciani in center field who can just go and get it.
All right, Trev, here we go.
Just back to the sort of the history stuff. I remember a great story when we were doing a game with Tim Kirkshin, and he brought up Archie Vaughan, and it was in relation to a statistic involving Derek Jeter. And Jeter actually, a couple of weeks later at a game, sought out Tim and said, "Tell me about Archie Vaughan. I want to know who he was." So that desire, that thirst, you know, being around all the players, even in the association, it's almost an obligation.
Yes. And an obligation to pass it on. So I love what Alex Cora is doing down there and sort of teaching the history of the game to his players as they go along and visit these ballparks.
Yeah, and what a special day Friday must have been for that. The 50th anniversary of the 1975 team. And so there's Carl Yastrzemski. And there's Jim Rice and Fred Lynn and Dewey Evans right in front of the players. It was cool seeing the Red Sox players watching that ceremony.
There you go. Trevor Story knocks one all the way to the wall. Trevor Story with the double as Boston continues to pile up extra base hits amongst all their hits. That's Trevor Story's first hit of the night.
He looks healthy again, Eduardo. I mean, we know he's been through his injury issues. You know he's had a trouble getting going here. This is probably the first year where you're getting the full story. You're getting the full Monty with Trevor Story. Red Sox fans are going to find out this guy can play a little bit.
And he finally had an off season where he could just train for the sport, not try to rehab an injury.
The Red Sox have 6 doubles tonight. Perennially, they lead the majors, or are at the top of the doubles leaderboard every year. There have been 9 doubles tonight by 9 different players, and again 6 by the Red Sox.
So, Cody, you were talking before how you felt like that Christian Campbell kind of reminds you of Mookie Betts. I asked Alex Cora, the Red Sox manager, who he reminds him of, and he said Jaylen Brown, the shooting guard for the Boston Celtics, because he talked about how physical Christian Campbell is at 6'3". Jaylen Brown's 6'6" and so strong. As you guys know, 6'3" is a monster for a second baseman in terms of size. 210, 220 pounds.
Probably not even close to being physically as strong or as big as he's going to get either.
Can he jump like Jaylen Brown? And he should have consulted with Brown, because Brown signed a massive contract. But he was very sincere and humbled by the contract the Red Sox gave him, and said it was life-changing for his family, life-changing money.
Well, what makes it special is that when he went to Georgia Tech, he was an undrafted player, ends up redshirting at Georgia Tech, plays 1 year, and then signs professionally, and boom, next thing you know, has a monster year in AAA. Works his way to AAA and straight to the big leagues this year with that contract.
Yep. 22 years young, hits one hard, and it's fielded by the new third baseman. Sagasi throws out Campbell. That was his family there. He's 22. And as Eduardo said, born in Chattanooga, Tennessee, went to Walton High School in Marietta, Georgia. Played 1 season at Georgia Tech, hit 376, 484, and 549 with a slash line. They picked him in the 4th round. He was the 132nd pick overall. And it was kind of crazy how quickly he went from prospect to professional and major leaguer.
To locked up.
To locked up for 8 years. And most people will scout the Red Sox, including the staff here, and say that Roman Anthony and Marcelo Meyer are as good, if not even more advanced than Christian Campbell is. But he was the second baseman. Meyer could play second base. Anthony's an outfielder. They have a great problem. This one on the ground right at the second baseman, Donovan.
And most importantly, the thing that the Red Sox needed in their lineup was right-handed bats. They went out and they got Alex Bregman. They go now and they look within the system, and it's Christian Campbell who also solves that issue from the right side. Now they have their two big right-handed bats. Now they can go in and focus on the winning and continue to develop those players at the minor league level as well.
Again, the Tennessee connections go all the way up to the University of Tennessee, where his dad played football.
And Carl, I just want to reinforce what you just said. 2 years ago, he was playing at Georgia Tech.
Yeah.
2 years ago, and he was a fourth-round pick, and here he is with his big contract as you see his parents again.
Yeah.
Dad's saying, oh man, they got me eating.
That's pulled and hooked down the line. Might it be another double? The 7th of the night for the Red Sox. Narvaez heads in, and he makes it. 7 doubles, part of this onslaught against the Cardinals. They got a new season high in hits, and they add another run.
Narvaez, with the amount of catchers that the New York Yankees had, the one thing that Narvaez can do is play elite defense. That's what they got him for, but also the bat works, and it's worked often during spring training and now at the beginning of the season for the Red Sox.
His second double of the night. Just to conclude the Campbell conversation, his deal included a $2 million signing bonus with options of $19 million in 2033 with a $4 million buyout and $21 million in 2034. 2034 feels like it's forever from now. That one gets away, and Narvaez will take the extra 90. "22 years, 272 days old. He was the youngest Sox player to debut on opening day since Joe Howard in 1968. Here's who they've signed long-term: Campbell, Rafael, Bayo, who's coming back from injury and has thrown a rehab start, and of course recently here Garrett Crochet. 6 years, $170 million, and Rafael Devers has that long-term deal over $300 million.
And the Red Sox, who seemingly were dormant for a few years, back in it and being aggressive. And talking with friends at John Henry, they tell me they really feel like in this year he's been reminded again why he got into this and why he loves baseball so much.
Just think about it. Last year it was Jackson Merrill who, after 1 year, ends up signing, and this starts next year, the 9-year, $135 million deal. That's after 1 year service time. The Red Sox really believe that Christian Campbell is going to be that elite. They're gambling on the contact, the athlete, the persona. I think it's a great gamble.
A gamble on Campbell. 2-2. And that one is towards the seats, and we'll get there.
Especially on the back end when you have club options on the very back end of the deal. If he projects out the way he's going to, or the way everybody thinks, that will be a bargain for the Red Sox.
Conversation amongst the fan bases, of course, with big market, small market, especially when it relates to a big market, is, well, why aren't we doing more. And the idea, like Buster just alluded to, a reminder to the principal owner of why you got into this when he had won World Series before. You don't listen to your fan base, but that was the argument. Well, if we just invest a little bit here, we got a real chance. And here they do it in a big way, and they certainly have got themselves, at least back perception-wise, into that conversation.
See Jose Flores right there, like, wait a second, are you okay? Do you have a fever? You just walked? What?
A walk rate of 2.6%.
It's nice to be talking about young players and contracts as opposed to service time manipulation and surplus value and squeezing an extra year out of the contractual control the clubs have. So it's a nice story.
Duran, this is going to be tough play and no play for even Wien, who's got such a good arm. Those were like superpowers. Great arm at Wien, super speed from Duran. Red Sox get 13 as Jarren Duran picks up his third hit of the night.
Jarren Duran, who started this game out making 0 for 2, has turned it on already with 3 hits in this game.
And now back to Devers, who's been on all 4 times tonight. Swings at the first one and hits this one high and deep, right into the triangle and off the top of the wall. 2 more runs come in. Devers picks up his second double and 4th hit of the night.
Continues to pepper that wall. Again, that's what you have to do to get back in line. Don't try to pull it. Not rushing it now, starting earlier. The timing is there. You see that leg kick up just in time and put it down. Understanding where the bat head is. It's the common denominator, going opposite field.
That's the way he was swinging the bat when he first got called up. When he took Aroldis Chapman deep on a 102-mile-an-hour fastball to left center, just like that at Yankee Stadium. So that's always been his power zone.
Slump? What slump? He's got his average over 250 already.
Yeah, that's a thing of the past, and the Red Sox tonight are smiling like that. All of them season high in runs and hits. 15 runs, 19 hits.
And he's missed a couple pitches too where he's fouled and got frustrated. But this one was center cut. Oh, he's liking this DH and stuff right now. Let it eat.
Bregman swings, pulls one, and clank again off the wall. Alex Bregman to second base. He's in with the double. The Red Sox continue to torture the Green Monster. Uncle. They now have 20 hits in the game. Nearly half of them doubles.
That's what you call home field advantage. You see how he brings those hands in and through the bat head? Notorious for always looking at video. And always in that video room, Alex Bregman.
Alligator
built for this park.
Operators tonight busy, 16 runs on 20 hits. And John King, the lefty, is the next pitcher for the Cardinals. 9 of those 20 hits have been doubles. I would think, and I can look this up, the average exit velocity on Wilyer Abreu's bats tonight have to be in the 100 miles an hour, the average.
Every ball has been barreled.
On the season, the Red Sox have 25 doubles. Next closest, the Diamondbacks with 23. Wilyer Abreu's arm has been equally as impressive as the bat tonight.
How about this StatCast graphic right here for Wilyer Abreu in the single and the double? Where he hits it out front on that changeup. You saw him pull it earlier in the evening. The fastball, he let it ride for the other double.
This one in the hole. Wynn's got a great arm. Nice play. Mason Wynn took a hit away from Abreu. Terrific play by the athletic shortstop of the Cardinals.
It's as good as it gets.
Seen a handful of guys throw the baseball at 90 miles an hour plus from the outfield, and Wynn steady, fire, flush him. Back on Sunday Night Baseball. It's ESPN presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? They've seen 2 games here today, many of the fans, and Red Sox won the first and clearly look like they're in line to win another one. Want to ingratiate a fan base, especially at the beginning of the season. What a way to do it on your opening homestand. The Celtics about to begin their playoff push towards another NBA title. Bruins struggling a little bit. The Red Sox capitalizing on that period. This one is down that line in left, and another one that's missed out there in left. This time it's Rob Refsnyder who's unable to come up with it as he goes in as a defensive replacement for Duran. Refsnyder, same thing.
Ball will find you. This time it'll be an error. And Ref Snyder again, taking a look, and it comes right back. And that, I'm telling you, I played left field. That was the one that gave me headaches. You have to try to square the body as much as you can because it's almost an optical illusion. That ball's going to come right back to you.
Get to the other defensive changes they've made as Criswell will field this one and throw to first for the out. They get Contreras. Tristan Casas has gone in to play first base. Romy Gonzalez has moved over to third base. You know that Ref Snyder is out there and left. And David Hamilton, who played second base in the first game, is now at shortstop.
So a high school friend, Dan Koval, texted me a possible name for Brendan Donovan's bats. What do you guys think about the depth charge?
All right.
I like a deeper cup. Depth,
right, depth charge, right.
And a little charge off the bat.
What do you think?
Giving love to your buddy Dan. Was it Dan Koval?
Yes.
Yeah. Like a long time friend of yours?
Yeah, since high school.
All right.
Played Stratomatic against each other in high school. And you know our friend Tim Kirkchin's in the Stratomatic Hall of Fame. So
I've heard that. I love Strato. That's another great. You talk about teaching baseball and players. That's Stratomatic was a great way.
Yep.
We did that at camp up in Amesbury, Mass. Stratomatic baseball, great camp. Bowercrest was a big deal. We didn't have phones, computers, none of that.
Inside.
Well, let's see if the depth charge can deliver here against Criswell.
that's great buy-in, Carl. Thank you.
I'm here for you. And DK. Speaking of DK, you know, our buddy Daniel Kim is coming back to the States. He'll be at Citi Field. Can't wait to talk to Daniel. I think he said early May. No advancement from third base. This went all the way to the backstop. In a 16-2 game, it's probably not a bad idea. Play Ball, baseball's global youth initiative. We're going to highlight the fun and accessible ways to play our great game. To learn more, including how to find a league near you, go to playball.org and follow @playball on X, Facebook, and Instagram. No chilies. This is a sweatshirt, kind of a winter coat night, depending on your ability to handle the cold weather. It's in the 40s. You got any names, Coney, for the Donovan bat?
Well, I peeked at Twitter in between innings, and there was one suggestion from that platform, and it was from the Ray Donovan show.
I watched. Yeah, I'm sure did.
There we go.
The Fixer.
The Fixer, yeah.
Yes.
So the bat is the Fixer.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thought you were going to chat GPT it.
This is Thomas Sajaci with first and third for the Cardinals, and he reaches out, sends one to left. Ref Snyder catches and says, "Thank you very much." There's the run for the Cardinals. I'll throw to second.
ACE's new Yard RX program prescribes the best lawn care, specific to your yard's needs, delivered at our best price each season, guaranteed. From our store to your front door.
Ace is the place with the helpful hardware, folks.
In college baseball, they of course have the run rule game. Would Major League Baseball, given the changes and the different considerations, as players, is that something you would even entertain?
No.
Yeah, I mean, you know, there's so many suggestions out there. You know, some of the rules changes we've had have been good. The pitch clock, I think, has been widely successful. Jim Cott used to say, let's just go to 7 innings.
Just in general, go to 7.
7-inning games.
How do you think people looked at him when he said that?
The traditionalists are going to hate it,
Right.
obviously. Baseball's 9 innings.
We, of course, went through the 7-inning doubleheader period.
It's kind of nice.
It had its benefits.
Especially doubleheaders.
I know Carl loved it too.
I thought the 7-inning, but that was before the other changes, which I think I wouldn't suggest 7-inning games anymore. But the run rule 16-3, I mean, maybe you get away from the conventional 10 runs and you say 15 runs after 7 innings.
Yeah, you get away from
runs after 8.
Yes, get away from pitchers pitching at the end of these games.
Yeah. It's a 13-run game here. And baseball on ESPN is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? If you had the under on doubles, you lose tonight, and extra base hits, and Wally hat there for Alex Bregman, who went yard and did a lot of other damage tonight. Take a look at this. Tonight, the Cardinals have 8 hits, the same number that Devers and Bregman have. And we'll get back to it because the extra base hit part of it is also there as well.
The Red Sox have 19 batted balls tonight, over 100 miles an hour. 19?
Well, 2 hopper off the bat of Hamilton, who is thrown out.
Oh, it took me 27 years, about 5 months.
Well, Bregman's got 20 extra base hits in his first 24 career games. Pronk, Travis Hafner, the former great Cleveland Indian, at 21. But there's the 5 extra base hits to the Cardinals 3 and 9 runs batted in between the 2 of them. Start looking around, and Eduardo, with what you do on MLB radio and follow all 30 teams closely. Lineups. You know, this is aberrational, obviously, with the number of hits and runs, but would this be considered one of the top lineups offensively in the majors?
I think it has its potential. The bottom half of the lineup is going to have a lot to say about it, but this kid right here, Christian Campbell, if he continues to do what he has done in the first week and a half of the season, I think there's a clear argument for it. They were weak from the right side, and now with that guy right there, Alex Bregman, Christian Campbell, added to the mix, changes things a lot.
Well, Trevor Story ever get back to being close to what he was as an offensive player from the right side. We've seen signs of it.
They're definitely more athletic too, and running the bases defensively.
See Campbell at the top of the odds CSPN bet to win Rookie of the Year.
And if you guys, fans of the game, have not seen Jacob Wilson play, he is some kind of special. For all those old schoolers, just lower the hands a little bit and it looks a lot like Carney Langsford. Swinging the bat. Happy feet, happy hands. Just a little bit higher than Carney Langsford, but
Lansford, and he played. Lansford played here for the Red Sox as well as that great career with the A's.
Great. Now Christian Campbell's going to have to go look up Carney Lansford, I think, right? Alex Gordon needs to ask him about it. You know, one thing that's really cool in the American League this year is that you can chart a reasonable path for so many teams to get through into the playoffs, maybe the League Championship Series, get to the World Series, because there's such balance in the American League this year.
Yeah, because the National League is so dominant, top heavy. Their teams at the top were spectacular. And with the Giants getting off to the start they had, you know, they probably were considered just a bit below the Dodgers and the Padres. But man, San Francisco has put on a terrific show to start the season.
Buster Posey, when he took over that team, head of baseball operations, he said he wanted to get baseball players. He wanted to get guys who enjoyed the culture. They signed Willy Adames to a big deal. They look awesome early on.
Gonzalez on the ground. That's underneath Campbell, and he will put the brakes on there. But I know the Red Sox have beaten up the Green Monster. They've had a lot of balls on the ground through holes, a lot. Part of that's because they've had guys on, so the first baseman's on the bag.
Certainly, and we knew that coming in with Miles Michaelis, who's a pitch to contact kind of a starting pitcher, and sometimes those balls find holes.
Here is Narvaez. Look at the OPS just to start the season for the catcher. Red Sox 21 hits, ties the most by any team in baseball this season, as early as the season is. Chicago Cubs did that against the A's. We'll see the Cubs next Sunday night against the Dodgers. All right, here you go, Coney. You kind of asked for this, the poor Green Monster out there, and all the balls, the doubles that have been hit tonight, and the exit velocity. How many of them harnessed by this guy at 109 plus. And people often are wondering, like, why does that matter, the exit velocity, and it exponentially increases the chances of it being a hit.
Yeah, hitting the ball hard, swinging the bat fast. Yeah, I mean, that increases your odds of getting it past fielders.
Yes, Statcast is powered by Google Cloud, by the way.
Especially the ones on the ground, the harder you hit on the ground.
Yes.
You know, everybody talks about lift and launch angle and driving the ball, and that's all very important, but the harder you hit the ball on the ground, the better chance it gets through too.
A walk as the 23rd pitch. These are a look at all the doubles tonight. And some were gap shots that didn't reach the wall. The Dimples very get a chance to tour Fenway Park, and you go right up next to it. I mean, they leave indents on the wall.
There's no place like this ballpark, and the sounds really of this ballpark are like no other, especially because of the monster. The sound of banging off the wall, how loud it is, especially lower where the auxiliary scoreboard is.
Yeah, different tones of tin.
And as an outfield, the visiting teams, always the first day they're taking fly balls off the wall. The right fielder can't just sit and watch. He's got to hustle towards center field just in case it gets past them. You see there's a lip right above the wall as well.
I find it fascinating that they have not decided to take the ladder down that's on the Green Monster. It's painted green, so sometimes you don't see it. But right between the BetMGM and the Red Sox Scholars, there's a ladder that they used to climb up into the screen to retrieve the baseballs that were hit into the screen. That one gets by. Here comes the runner, Campbell from third. 17-3.
It's been a long day for that man right there behind the plate, who had to come in, and Pages, who had to come in the game in game one, and now has to catch this game as well.
Call that a pass ball on Pages as Rafaela gets ready, bounces one up the middle. Challenging play because he can fly, and he's safe. A great effort from Donovan, but Rafaela's athleticism and speed create a safe call and an 18th run.
Third hit for Rafaela. Lunges to the front of the bag right there. It's a great effort. No substitute for speed.
Eduardo, at what point is the conversation the Cardinals dugout about a position player pitching, do you think? And what is that? How does that conversation take place?
Who wants it right now? And you're looking at the options that you have on the bench, and you got to protect those arms, your pitchers, and this is a conversation they're going to have right now. Is it going to be Lucan Baker, who's pitched at TCU? But he did have Tommy John already once.
One of the best ones I ever saw was when Wade Boggs came in one game to pitch. Had a good knuckleball too. Was really into it. If you ever played catch with Wade Boggs, he had a great knuckleball.
Well, while they have a conversation, Coney, you've made a request. They're going to take the pitcher out. We'll just lay out and let you listen to what it sounds like when balls hit the wall here at Fenway Park. Chris Roycroft next up, and his first pitch is down. Cardinals used 6 pitchers in that first game, and you know, when you look back on the day, they had their closer Helsley in, they had a 2-run lead, and that really hurt them. A split of a doubleheader feels like that's how most doubleheaders go, with the split. But man, they had a chance to ice that game 1 and didn't do it, ended up losing, and on their way to getting swept in this doubleheader.
Those can be very deflating, obviously, for any team, but when you have the lead and you're closer in the game, those ones really sting.
This is Rob Refsnyder. He came in for Duran. Where you start rooting, you know, at some point for the opposing pitcher to throw strikes and see what happens. Let him put the ball in play, but walks at this stage of a game.
Yeah, it can get frustrating.
Right. Sky high, playable. Wind goes out and gives way. You can be part of the action like never before. Cast your vote for the MLB Player of the Game. Voting opens after the 6th inning of every game at MLB.com/POTG. Terms and conditions apply. That's a challenging one tonight. Who is the player of the game? You go with the pitcher Dobbins because it's his first career start and win, or do you go with one of these dudes and have all these hits?
I gotta give this one right now to. Wow.
No, he didn't.
Alex
Wow,
Bregman.
didn't play tonight. Bregman.
I know Devers gets 4 hits, but so does Bregman with a home run and 2 doubles.
Well, Dobbins is going to be the guy who owns the clubhouse after the game, right?
I'm giving it to Dobbins.
He is going to get drenched.
Connor Wong.
Upside. Hold up.
Yeah, they're not leaving.
I don't blame them.
Special night. Major League debut for their son, Everett Lance.
By the way, Lance told me when we were getting ready to talk to him that he was drafted by the Yankees 3 different times, but he couldn't stand the Yankees. So he wouldn't sign. And finally, the 3rd time is like, okay, he wanted to play professionally. He has the Yankee jersey from the minor league system in his closet. He pushed it all the way to the back, especially when his son was drafted by the Red Sox.
Where do you think, did you ever have a chance off camera to ask him, where did the sort of love affair with Boston or the Red Sox come from?
Yeah, so it was, first off, he's a crazy baseball fan. He played, as I mentioned, and so he would watch, you know, the Cubs during the day, and then later in the day he'd watch the Red Sox. And he became a Red Sox fan, and Hunter, he watched the team together.
And they watched the Green Monster. They said, hey, Big Red, we need you to prevent them from going green. Red better than green as a pitcher at Fenway. ESPN is presented by Capital One. What's in your wallet? The game was rained out yesterday after what was ultimately almost a 3-hour delay. So they had Hunter Dobbins on call, and his folks made it here to watch his major league debut. He was certainly supported by all that offense, and he's enjoying the ride. How long it lasts, he may very well be going back to Worcester after the game. But he left an impression for sure.
Well, he did. He missed some bats, too. You know, those 5 strikeouts. He had 14 swing and misses on his 93 pitches thrown.
The Red Sox not long from getting both Lucas Giolito and Brian Bayo back. Jordan Walker leads off the top of the 8th inning. All right, Eddie, you've seen a lot of history with these Cardinals. Give me your favorite Cardinal of all time. Is Walker. This one off the end of the bat. Favorite Cardinal all time.
Favorite Cardinal of all time that I played with.
Favorite Cardinal of all time. We encourage people to know history of the game. You can go music. You can go anywhere you want.
I could. You know what? I'll say pitcher Gibson.
Bob Gibson. Yep.
Hitter Albert Pujols. I just thought he was. And having played with him and just seeing how he prepped, wasn't a right-handed hitter like him.
I've never seen anybody ever play shortstop like Ozzie Smith.
The Wizard.
And defensively, there's him and everybody else.
Yeah.
Certainly Stan Musial comes to mind. How far you want to go back?
100%.
The tremendous history. All the way back to Rogers Hornsby. Right. Where are we going? I mean, the Cardinals are a fantastic
open-ended question.
Organization with a rich history. Both these organizations.
I'll tell you who impacted my career was Red Shandy's Hall of Famer, also second baseman and manager for the Cardinals. And he asked me one time, he said, "How many home runs do you have?" I said, "I've got 4 home runs in the season." He said, "What were the counts?" And I was 1-2, 0-2, 2-2, 3-2. He goes, "What do you do different with 2 strikes?" I said, "I choke up." He goes, "The best hitter in the game, Barry Bonds, chokes up all the time. Why don't you?" After that conversation, I never not choked up again. I choked up every single time.
You need a torpedo bat.
Yeah, I created my own. I brought the barrel towards my hands.
Or a depth chart.
Yes. That I do not have, Buster.
Well, we mentioned him earlier. I mean, having done Baseball Tonight for all those years, Edmonds was sort of a Baseball Tonight web gem guy almost nightly. And he was special roaming center field. You mentioned Ankiel on the arm. There was some great ones. And we are heading towards the top of the hour, which means we're getting close to the puck drop. Golden Knights Canucks. You get a chance to see Eichel coming up next on ESPN. Of this is going to happen, and I believe in myself. Who helped you along that way?
Everybody, my family, the coaches, the staff, they believe in me. They let me know, and I believe in myself also. And I just go with the flow after that.
Two other things. The new contract, congratulations, fantastic. What does it mean to you? What is the statement the team made to you? And why were you so receptive to do that?
It's life-changing for me and my family. That's the main thing. I mean, I was informed about the whole process, and I'm educated about the whole process the whole time. Obviously, there's pros and cons of doing it so early versus late. But it was life-changing for me and my family, so that's why I took up on the deal.
Yeah, $60 million and could escalate to 96 with a couple of team options at the end of it. Congratulations to him and to all the young players that sign. I think it's so unfair sometimes when people judge those that take contracts and wonder why. Well, why'd you do that? You lose sight. Buster just brought it up during the break as you see the Campbell family. $60 million is a lot of money to do something you love.
There's always risk involved too, you know, and certainly the club is sharing that burden. Injuries, anything can happen.
Tristan Casas, right field. Walker, Wall reaches up and brings it back in. Takes a home run away from Tristan Casas.
And he hears about it too. And he likes it.
Get a microphone on him.
Telling you, he knew exactly where he was. See that right hand how it's feeling as soon as he realized he had a couple more steps to go.
6'6".
That helps.
Yep.
Yep, that helps.
Yeah. Big. A lot of land out there in right field here at Fenway Park.
Man, Fenway fans greedy tonight, right? Booing our man Jordan Walker.
Right. Can't believe you took away the 19th run. Are they chanting MVP for Abreu already?
Yes, they are.
Let's start with Player of the Week and then work our way to the month.
It's hard, man, to chant Player of the Week compared to MVP. It just rolls off the tongue a little differently.
How do you explain a hitter, Eduardo, that gets hot like that? I mean, the streaks you had as a player. I mean, what is it? I mean, it's just a feel you get. You just stop thinking. You just start doing it.
That's the key right there. To stop thinking about it.
Get out of your own way and just see the ball and crush it. In this case,
be the ball.
As simple as it can be said. Just see ball, hit ball. It's so difficult. Many times.
He's slumping big time right now. I mean, he's now been retired 4 consecutive times. The average slips below 500. Other than that, he's just destroying the baseball.
And everyone in baseball is finding out now who Wilyer Abreu is and why Alex Cora has been so enamored with his ability ever since being traded to the Red Sox. And that rocket of an arm is a difference maker in right field, and it got him a Gold Glove. Great jumps. He attacks the ball well, and you saw it right there. Accurate. And now every St. Louis Cardinal player knows about that rocket of an arm.
Yeah, and I assume so do all the teams now. When and base runners are the ones that generally you try to pick up your third base coach, but oftentimes the ball hit over your right shoulder. You made the call, and in that case, Newpart made the call. I mean, you could see he looked out to see how far Abreu was out in right before he came in. He made that decision. It looked like on his own to go.
And for 90+% of the players,
it's the right call.
It's the right call.
Yeah. We are through 8. 18-3, 1/2 to go. right, everybody, the push for the playoff positioning is on. Less than 2 weeks left in the regular season. Next week's ESPN NBA Wednesday double dip. Lucas returned to Dallas at 7:30 Eastern time, which should be fun. And then Nikola Jokic and the Nuggets take on DeMar DeRozan and the Kings. Our coverage tips, NBA countdown at 7 Eastern time. And we should congratulate, as we look forward to the men's championship game tomorrow night, the UConn women winning another national championship, their 12th, as they destroyed South Carolina today. And Don Staley's team, congratulations to Gino Auriemma and Paige Beckers on an amazing career in the great production at the ESPN team. Both Ryan, Rebecca, the studio crew, the production team make the NCAA Women's Championship, and that tournament so special. It is a marquee event, and the UConn women will have a parade in Connecticut as they win another championship. Watch any of the women's tournament? I know people, we talked with Jordan about Duke and Cooper Flip. You watch the women's tournament?
The level of play is fantastic.
It has come so far and so fast, and their level of play is phenomenal. Hey, MLBshop.com, you can get the largest selection of jerseys, caps, hoodies, t-shirts, and more. Go to MLBshop.com. No, that one is through into the outfield off the end of the bat of Mason Wynn. MLBshop.com, by the way, is your official source for your favorite team gear. Mason Wynn keeps the night rolling along. Good night last night for the ESPN crew as we enjoyed dinner in the North End. And then you guys all got in line at Mike's Pastry with thousands of other people. I mean, thousands.
Wait a second, you were there too.
But I was observing.
It was worth the wait.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely worth it.
North End was hopping.
Crushed the chocolate chip cannoli.
Late night. Popped up, looking for help. Here it comes in the form of Rob Refsnyder from left field. So the Yankees scored 20 runs in a game this year. Tony, you know that. That was the most runs yet scored in a game this season. The Chicago Cubs, 18 runs. Boston did it with doubles, 9. The Yankees, remember, against the Brewers did it with homers, 9. Cubs had a nice mix of doubles and deep balls, 6 and 4. Big Lucan Baker is up. And now, was he a specimen in college? To Eduardo's point, when he was with TCU, and he got hurt, which was a crushing blow to program and to Baker. This guy was a hitting machine, and to Eddie's point, he could pitch, but this guy was special in college.
Special in college, and still the home run rate that he has in the minor leagues is right there with Mark McGwire at the big league level, and they're hoping that Lucan that power can translate to this level.
Well, just look at him. I mean, he is a big guy.
Yes, I'm looking hard to see what kind of measurements they got on this guy, which is no small thing nowadays with the strike zone. Went back in spring training, they have to measure everybody in terms of height,
right,
to calibrate the strike zones. That is a big strike zone right there.
Oh. Break two.
There's that high hopper. They may get 2, and no, they get none. Thrown into right field. So Lucan Baker will end up at first. Wynn goes down to third. Gonzalez went sidearm, and he threw a submarine right into right to Wilyer Abreu.
Yeah, and then he pushed it a little bit right there, just never never was able to get a good grip on the ball.
Yeah,
it seemed like palm ball.
Threw a palm ball over there. He did.
Now Baker at first is 6'4". They list him at 285. And Donovan goes to left, and no chance for Refsnyder. The Cardinals aren't going quietly. Baker breaks on at third, little double for the cupped bat, and Brendan Donovan is at second base. It works.
Yeah, don't give away at bats. Doesn't matter what the score is. Brendan Donovan has never been that kind of guy to do so.
Thomas to JC. Strike one. Top 5 prospect in this Cardinals system to JC.
1-2.
Foul off. That hit, by the way, means that the Cardinals have reached 10 or more hits in every game they've played this season. And they're one behind the 1999 Indians. You talk about a lineup. Now that was a lineup right there.
Yes. It's back when they sold out every night. Yeah. What a ballpark to go into back in the 90s.
What a team. Hats off.
I'll tell you this, Brent Brown, as their hitting coach, has done a really nice job of being able to communicate well. That started during the offseason. Arizona working with a lot of the players there in their approach, getting to know them, getting to trust them.
It's a bit of an aberrational day, guys. There's that both of these games of these doubleheaders will be 3 hours plus. Like, you don't see that anymore. And these guys have run out there and played 2 today, each over 3 hours. Long stretches of games with no days off for Alex Cora's made that point about the Red Sox. We saw him last night.
Boys, the game changed years ago when we played. All those were strikes. Umpires weren't evaluated, and they would tell you, swing the bat, we got to go home.
He does. JC, he knows he got all of it out of the building. Touch him all time, Thomas Saggese, a 3-run shot late night at Fenway.
Man, he hit that like number 25. Mark McGuire used to hit him here. Wearing number 25.
430 by the time it landed.
Has it landed? It hit a car, reach the pike.
He said he was a top 5 prospect,
yes.
Right? Saggese. No, he's no Fugazi.
Got out of here in a hurry.
And he knew he didn't move to Lansdowne Street. Incoming.
What's it like to hit a ball like that, Eduardo?
Oh man,
I know what it's like to give them up.
It's a great, I'll tell you what, it's a great feeling because you don't feel it off the bat at all. As soon as you hit it, you know it. Especially in this historic ballpark.
Look at that.
For a young player.
Wow, that feeling.
Never forget it.
Even in a game like this.
Our booth coordinator, Ed Svita, has handed us a note. Eddie, he's got his humor on at 10:15 in the East. Home run in every MLB park and a couple of national parks.
Yes.
Off the glove of Criswell, fielded at short. 1 out away from ending the game. That is now 25 runs.
Tony, what was the most majestic home run that you ever gave up?
I gave up one to Manny Ramirez in Cleveland at the old Jake. We were just talking about Cleveland. Yeah, it went up over the bleachers to the left and just almost out of the ballpark. Took one bounce up in the concourse in deep left field in Cleveland and was gone.
Did you watch it the whole way, or did you just?
I did. I saw. I watched it the whole way.
Outside.
Little League, there's been some famous looks on pitchers when some of the bigger hitters hit them, and you get a nice tight shot, and the kid is saying like, "Wow, I can't believe what I just saw, let alone what I just gave up." I'm really impressed.
One of the most beautiful right-handed swings you'll ever see.
Yeah,
Manny Ramirez.
Crowd would like to see it end here.
We had a kid in instructional league one time give one up, and he actually met the runner, the guy that hit the home run between third and home, and high-fived him.
Yeah.
We're like, you don't do that.
No.
He goes, but he hit it so far.
3-2 to Walker. And we are staying for more as he lines a shot towards the gap. He will stay at first base. $34th hit of the night. 22 and 12.
61 pitches now on the mound too.
Next Sunday night, baseball matchup: Ohtani, Betts, the Dodgers against Tucker, and the Chicago Cubs. Series finale at Chavez Ravine. 7 Eastern time on ESPN, ESPN Deportes, and ESPN Radio. We'll start at 6 Eastern time with baseball tonight. Sunday night countdown. Now, what are they laughing about?
You know, Tristan Casas has to be saying something off the wall over there first. Still talking over there.
Oh, you don't run into a lot of games that have 34 hits. Hockey is coming up next year. We'll get you there ASAP. And there they are. All of 25 runs, 34 hits, 3 E's. And this one to left, stopping on the track and just short to end the game is Ref Snyder. Boston gets the brooms out. They sweep the Cardinals, and they do it in pretty dominating fashion. And dominating, maybe we should say. Dominating fashion.
Yes.
Hunter Dobbins. 18-7 our final for Coney, Eddie, Buster, and our entire crew. Thanks so much for watching. Our good friend Mike Monaco's in Vancouver. He will have the Golden Knights and Canucks. Take it away, Mike.